Welcome back. You're watching the Quiksilver Pro Gold Coast round 3 in the lineup. Sully Bailey and Felipe Toledo kick things off for us first thing in the morning at heat number 1. And now introducing the overlapping format for the first time on the Gold Coast here at D-Boss. So you see the clock just getting started with Ace Buchan and John Florence out there. And now back to live action. John Florence throw the tail to the beach into reverse, taking advantage of an early start against Ace.
Yeah, John dodged a bullet in round 1, had a pretty slow hit, and then came back right at the end with his last ride to move up into the top 2 and escape that dreaded round number 2.
John did on this opening turn here, Potts.
Yeah, beautiful clean opening snap there, gives it a little tweak at the end and then goes to the air. So looking real confident, looking smooth here this morning, wasting no time to get the ball rolling. Nice connection with the lip there. You can see that little bit of separation with that front foot. Regathers it, spins it around, nice and clean, as easy as you like. That's a stock standard move for John Florence.
Super wedge bowling on the inside for John Florence. Hits it off the lip and crushes the finish with a layback hack. What a quick start for Florence. The two-time world champion pushing Ace Buchan early in the matchup.
Gosh, we missed that, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
And then John, have a look at this. Devastating form for Florence. Wow. Two-turn combo. Thank you very much. And this is the John of old. This is the stuff that we've come to love from John. Unique style, very quiet upper body. And look at that. Just perfect timing. That was beautiful transition between those two maneuvers. Obviously injured.
And here comes Ace. Backhand attack off the top. One turn and he's out. We talked about his longevity on tour going back to 07. His best result came last year, runner-up in the final to Julian Wilson. It's John Florence signature right there. Backhand attack for Ace Buchan. Wrapping his way back to the power source, jams it vertically, stays on his feet.
You know, no one looks like Ace either. You know, and that's the beauty of our sport. I think you can't train a kid and get him to change his style. I think, you know, you want that style to develop over the years, and it will. You know, you'll gradually work it out.
Health-wise coming into the start of the season, but it looks like he's able to push as hard as he likes right now. 14.27 combined total, and he's on the windup. Florence, high line carve off the lip. He'll jam it vertically. Wrapping turn, blowing the tail in front of him. Florence hanging on to the finish. Showing us a lot of variety. And wow, we missed his performance for the majority of last season. Like this one, Potts.
Oh, I loved it. I'd love to be on that wave right now. Look at that beautiful searing maneuver off the top from John. Straight into a nice vertical snap. Wiped off just a little bit of speed, and then not sure whether he rode out of that. Maybe just, but this first maneuver, that's where all the nuts and bolts are going to come from. Look at this, just jams it off the top. That kind of looks a little bit like Margaret River, just fish flying through the air. That's how deep that board went through the water. And straight up and vertical there, so nice combination of maneuvers. It puts so much power into that first turn, and it's just beautiful to see. Looks like he's at 100% physically. And you know, just remember, he hasn't surfed in a heat for quite some time, so this is getting back on the horse, and if there's any rust, well, that is well and truly gone.
Impressive to see the types of turns that Florence can throw down here at Duranbah. Now on the wedge, up by the break wall, Ace Buchan. Blitzes that first turn through the lip. Second carve and controls the finish. So Buchan not afraid of a fight against one of the biggest names in surfing, a two-time world champ. They've had some great battles over the years. John just leads 3-2 over Ace in one-on-one matchups. Ace Buchan on the wedge. Last year's runner-up in the final. Has one of the more reliable backhands on tour. He's gained big numbers, like at J-Bay, which is typically challenging for a goofy foot, where he's earned 9.87s. And we'll see what happened on his last effort here.
Yeah, nice little whitewater rolling for John. First turn, connected beautifully with that. And there's that layback snap. You know, just that tight arcing maneuver right in the pocket. Again, just look at the power that John is putting into that wave. every single maneuver. You can tell he's done a lot of hard work in the off-season.
Here comes John with some speed. Looking for a big section off the bottom. Tail high, full rotation punt into the flats. Amazing height, looking so comfortable and relaxed off the lip of that section punt.
Watch the rotation, Joe. I think that's the most impressive part of this. Bang! How fast he spun in the air. How clean that was. How the board stuck to his feet. No grab. I mean, almost looked like he had straps on there. That's how clean that was. The connection with the lip, the wind, everything just played in absolutely perfect for John Florence. The body spin, very little upper body movement. And if you watch guys that are really good in spinning in the air, Albiolea does it. He keeps his hands really quiet and really tight next to his body.
Well, pretty cool. I mean, hey, you brought up the Red Bull Airborne punts. Let's see what John's going to do on this wave. Snap, and he kicks out. Well, we'll compare John's there to, well, what Felipe Toledo did. Got a little bit of Tom Curran in him, where he's kind of afraid of that bright light sometimes. He loves his time at home, being with his closest friends. And now he's coming back blazing. Buchan needs a big score here, 9.2 to advance. He's going to get hung up, and that's not going to be the number heading into the final minute.
Yeah, I think, Ace, he's surfing sharp, carrying an injury as well. You can see that brace on the front leg, but I think Ace needs to be on the set waves to beat John. Big airs, big turns, big carves, fish flying through the air. I mean, it's all happening out here this morning.
And with the overlapping format, we're getting so much action so quickly. John Florence moves on to round 4 action as he takes out Ace Buchan, last year's runner-up in this event. Kanoa Garashi still leading over Jesse Mendez. As coming up next, Connor Coffin and Jeremy Flores will hit the lineup.